JP Morgan says President Trump's tariffs are the largest US tax hike since 1968. When you put it from that perspective, you can really understand what kind of impact these tariffs are really having on the economy, and not just the US economy. We're talking about worldwide, and it makes so much sense as to why there is so much uncertainty right now. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP holders. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing tremendous amount of love. Continue supporting, and you will see a continuation of these updates. But looking across the board as we are going into Friday morning, we are starting to see the market once again going back into the green. But as I've stated to you guys before several different times, before we start jumping around in terms of excitement, there's a lot of other things we need to be looking out for. There's a lot of confirmation we need to be looking out for, and as of now, those are things that we shouldn't really be neglecting, and rather focusing on them. So if you're looking across the board, XRP is up 1.7% with the price back up to that's $2.09. Also up 1.6% in Bitcoin comparative valuation at 122 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $4.4 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So Bitcoin fell from $88,500 to $81,000 following Trump's tariff announcement. As crypto quant analyst noted, a sharp shift in sentiment and 2.5k Bitcoin flowing into exchanges, with significant volumes headed to Coinbase. And again, this isn't rocket science. We're talking about, something that does have an impact in a negative way. Basically, what we have seen in the past, whenever you do see Trump announcing tariffs against some countries, you do tend to see Bitcoin and, even the equity market reacting in a negative way. So again, not a major surprise in terms of that, but of course, do let me know in the comments down below what your personal thoughts are in regards to this. And moving forward, Trump's new tariffs are disrupting the Bitcoin mining supply chain as US firms rush thousands of ASIC machines out of Southeast Asia before higher import taxes hit. Rising cost could cut into miners' profits and slow future expansion. And on the bright side, Ripple will be the most trusted source for enterprise support for cryptos. You can see, Ripple lead lawyer, Stewart, confirms once the regulatory cloud is lifted and U.S. policy is launched, XRP is set to dominate enterprise solutions. And I can argue that, it's already starting to show in terms of enterprises, showing so much interest towards blockchain industry and digital assets. I think, it's just a clear picture that's, right in front of us as to, which direction we're really headed towards, and how, the likes of Ripple custody services, or, Ripple network could really take such a huge share of the pie, especially as demand increases. And of course, as far as the XRP ledger is concerned, as we are talking about so much RWAs being launched, or major entities wanting to tokenize their assets, you are obviously going to be looking at the likes of XRP ledger, one-stop shop. So again, this is where things really start getting excited, especially since the launch of RLUSD. We've been hearing so many positive things about RLUSD, and I think it's still in such quite early stages. A lot of people have forgotten that it's just has launched a few months ago, and I think what it has been able to achieve in terms of valuation, in terms of adoption in such a short span of time is extraordinary, and I think it is going to help push the overall stablecoin space to another level that a lot of people are anticipating. But moving forward, look at this. Shout out to our friend Smoke for posting this. You can see why XRP is the strongest candidate for a strategic crypto reserve. So XRP stands out as the strongest candidate for U.S. strategic crypto reserve because of its unique combination of U.S. origin, global adoption, and robust infrastructure. As highlighted in the data, the US lags behind other countries in blockchain dominance, with only 5% of blockchain protocol market cap originating domestically. This is the stark contrast to the internet sector, where US-based companies dominate with the commanding 78% share of the global market cap. XRP, developing by Ripple, is one of the few globally recognized blockchain protocols rooted in the US, making it a critical asset for repairing the disparity and strengthening America's influence in the rapidly evolving blockchain space. With widespread institutional adoption and a proven track record of cross-border payment efficiency, XRP provides the stability and utility necessary for a reserve asset. Additionally, its global reach, as seen in its partnerships and operations spanning multiple continents, ensures that it can serve a bridge currency in the international financial system. At a time when blockchain protocols are increasingly dominated by entities outside the US, XRP offers a unique opportunity to help the US catch up and reassert leadership in this sector while providing a compliant, scalable solution for financial innovation. And I could not think this could have put in a better words. Shout out to Smoke. If you have not followed Smoke, where you waiting for, go follow him on Twitter. But yeah, very, very interesting things. What we've been speaking about for months and months. You're really starting to realize things are happening. But yeah, very interesting thing. Let me know your personal thoughts down below regarding that. So as far as the price is concerned, I really want you guys to take a look at, even though we are seeing a lot of green across the board, within the crypto markets right now, dominance is not showing any signs of slowing down right now. And again, if you understand how the dominance works and what kind of impact it can have on altcoins, especially when sitting so high, speaks for itself. But if not, obviously the higher the dominance goes, the worse it is for altcoins. Especially as there is so much uncertainty across the board. So, the dominance rising the way it is, of course, doesn't really surprise me because of the fact that, there is so much uncertainty indeed, and that usually does tend to see the dominance rising. So, obviously, let's hope, we don't see Bitcoin see a shakeout, because if it does, of course, this is going to have an impact on altcoins. But, BTC was able to get back in the 38-point Fibonacci retracement level, showing strength right now. The fact that, we still haven't seen the price, drop below the 0.50 and actually close the 0.50, which again is something that I will give praise to Bitcoin for. But right now, of course, in terms of getting excited, that is not a time to be doing that just yet. But as far as XRP's price is concerned, let's kind of take a look at it together and understand what we're looking at for XRP's price. So if you're looking at the price of XRP, it's back in the 38-point Fibonacci retracement level. You can see this for yourself. We did wick down to the $1.95. I spoke to you guys about this. If you somehow got in, we're talking about like around an 8% move towards the upside already happened, but there is significant amount of resistance coming in. It's when it's extremely important for the price to remain within the 38.2. If it's able to do that, I do personally believe reclaiming back up to the 220 is still in play. But if not, downside is still in the books, especially some of these levels that we haven't seen since about the past few days. So I'm going to keep you guys covered. Of course, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think right now. What are your personal predictions? XRP's price is still holding really good. If you look at it from a bigger picture, to really understand how good this project is holding despite so much uncertainty and volatility. But let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later. Thank you for all your support. It's been Crypto ZX, and peace out.